Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my job interview makeup. Really important not to overdo it and not to go out of the ordinary with your routine so that you feel the most comfortable. Now, I'm using a cream cleanser here. This is the Avène Tolérance collection, and it is just 7 ingredients. It's hypoallergenic, a sterile tube, so there are absolutely no preservatives. Check out this dispenser. It is anti-retrocontamination, so it dispenses the product without letting any air back in. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and then over time the tube just deflates. Really cool. So I'm using a dollop of this cream cleanser, and now I'm using a cream cleanser in the morning because it will break down that dead skin and any skincare that's on your face. I usually get a pretty generous dollop of cream cleanser so that I can massage it around without tugging the skin on the eyelids. I just find that if I don't wash my face kind of right when I get up in the morning, my eyes and eyelids get really itchy. Don't forget the eyebrows all the way up to the hairline. I sometimes break out right at kind of the temple area. Using a cream cleanser will ensure that your face won't get too red, it won't get irritated. I have just a cloth here that I'm gonna use to remove this cleanser. And this is going to give you a beautiful exfoliation. That's why I always recommend cream cleansers, especially in the morning, because they work. They wash the face without causing any irritation or disruption to your skin's natural moisture barrier. So after that, I'm going to use this Anti-Redness Cream. It has SPF in it from Avène. Look to their day creams for something that is like multifunctional. This is also actually an anti-redness cream. So as mentioned, I do have naturally reddish pinkish skin that flushes easily. So using a moisturizer that is actually like triple duty here, moisturizes, color corrects, and provides some SPF coverage is very smart. My absolute favorite product, this Magic's Tint tinted moisturizer. For video calls, this just makes my skin look absolutely flawless and it gives the best tone. Another favorite of mine is this Revlon Candid foundation. Very hygienic tube, so easy to use. I believe this comes in a pretty wide variety of shades. I'm using this incredible brush from Shoppers Drug Mart. It's the Quo collection, and it's this slanted foundation brush. You can find it in one of those rotating displays in the beauty boutique. So I'm just putting a little bit of that tinted moisturizer on the brush, and you can see this has a lot of coverage. The Revlon Candid goes on in a similar fashion where it looks almost a little bit bright at first, but don't worry, it will oxidize. And I think one of the most important things I can recommend is to use a product that isn't too light or bright, something that's almost a bit bronzy in tone when it dries down. And I'm just tapping it in here with that brush. This gives almost fingertip-like application. Concealer is an important piece for me. This is the Match Perfection from Rimmel. This is truly one of my favorite products, if not my favorite product of all time. It comes out on this great little brush you see here. I'm just squeezing. Product comes out. I got a little bit too much, but that's okay. What's cool too is if you have like a little spot, you could just squeeze out a bit, and that brush applicator allows you to do target application without getting your fingers involved. So I'll just tap a little bit onto the spot, and then I'll let it dry down a bit. And as you can see, I just blended it out with either a brush or finger. Concealer can also be brought up onto the eyelid. As you can see, I have pretty pink toned eyelids. So if you want to just brighten up the eyelid area, use that brush and blend out some excess concealer onto the lids. Look at how much brighter that makes my face. Very youthful. Almost gives you that eyeshadow effect without having to put anything on, because for this routine, I'm not using any eyeshadow. I also have the Slimatic concealers from Catrice. They come in a wide variety of shades as well. This is so sleek and easy to just pop in your bag. Although it isn't my favorite concealer of all time, if you have just like a pesky spot, even for men, you could just keep this, in your car, put a little dot onto any spot, make sure it's the right color that matches your skin, and then I just feather out the edges, making sure not to touch the top of the spot. So that's a little trick there. I am a big fan of cream blush. So this is a cushion blush right here, but a cream blush is really beautiful. You could do a double duty product like this Burt's Bees stick, which is a blush, but also a lip product. Look at it on the lips. It's beautiful. It gives just a nice fresh burst of berry tone on the lips, and you could also put that on the cheeks. Today I'm using this great coral shade. Again, that same brush, just tapped it into the cushion, and it gives such a stunning, juicy look to the cheeks. I find that my webcam actually makes my blush look way more intense than it is. Don't go overboard. Any extra I put on the tip of my nose, my chin, and my forehead. Brings a bit of natural color to those parts of the face. I wanted to mention color correctors. Under the eyes, I did use that concealer, but if you have really dark under eye circles, you're gonna wanna go for a corrector of this tone, the peach or the orange. So for me, I would use that peachy tone. This is from Ben Nye, which is a true makeup artist brand, but you could get a corrector that matches your skin tone. Just try to get color matched at a makeup counter because they'll be able to understand your undertones. But look at that, just a bit of peachy corrector under the eyes completely lifts up that darkness and make a very flawless canvas so that you don't look as tired. And then darker skin tones are gonna wanna use more of that reddy orange tones. And this type of corrector you're gonna wanna put on under your foundation or BB creams. One last tip I have to mention, you could absolutely get a stick concealer, and these are good because they last a lot longer since they're not wet. They won't produce as much bacteria. You could get a little pencil brush. Simply brush the tip of your pencil brush into that concealer, dab it right on top of the spot that you want to conceal. Tap it in. I love Benefit for their brow products. This is just one of their pencils. It is the Goof Proof Brow Pencil, and it has a nice large surface here. So the trick with brows is that you want to, again, do less is more and try to make it as natural as possible. So I do start sort of at the beginning of my brow, but you want to make sure that the majority of the color is concentrated in the center to the end of the eyebrow. Very fine amount because you don't want that crazy Sharpie brow. I just fill them in a little bit to give some extra dimension to my brow because look at that, it frames my face a little bit better than this side. It also gives maybe a bit more of a mature look, which I always want to go for. I'm actually using the pencil straight up and down here, and then I'm turning it on its side to fill in the length of my brow. And using the spoolie brush on the other side, brushing my eyebrows upwards and outwards, and this gives that natural effect. Powder is good because I just want to mattify that a little bit. I'm actually going to use this smaller brush from Real Techniques, and I'm just going to use it right in the center of my face, down the sides of my nose, and onto this area right here, kind of the inner cheek, to mattify. I still want to keep that glow on the outer cheek, and then of course underneath the eyes, because we want our concealer to stay in place. So applying some powder right underneath the eyes is going to help avoid creasing. I'm also going to put a little bit on my eyelids because this also helps my eye makeup stay in place. If you feel like your brow product might shift around, you could put some powder on top of the eyebrows. A little bit of eyeliner. I'm actually using one of these chubby sticks. My favorite ones are from Charlotte Tilbury. They last all day. The worst thing is if your makeup starts to smudge and kind of transfer. So using one of these chubby liners just gives a very natural kind of slept-in effect, very pretty. And then I'm just using my finger to blend it out. Look at this. So simple, so easy, gives a bit of definition. And then I'm gonna put a little bit on my lower lash line, using my clean finger to blend that out to give that very natural smoky look. Sometimes I use mascara primer to give me extra lift, extra volume. Today we wanna keep it natural. Say it's a job interview, you don't wanna appear too over the top, so I'm just using Perversion. It is very long wearing. My favorite one right now is the Bite Beauty Upswing. I do a little bit on my lower lashes. My favorite are these glosses from Dior. It gives my lips that hydrated look. For guys and girls, very important to have your lips look hydrated. Smiling is such an important part of your on-camera or in-person appearance, so having really nice hydrated lips is great. I also find that with something like this gloss or the Lip Glow Balms, love those as well, they don't cause lipstick on the teeth and they just give a very juicy, natural look. I feel very fresh, very professional, and like I am going to put my very best face forward. Thanks so much for watching. All of the links to the products I mentioned are in the description box, and I hope to see you again soon. Subscribe, like, and have a great day. Bye.